You're alone in these mountains.
Is that Dillian?
Nothing lives here. You won't survive. You met him by the tree. She met him by the tree. Maybe it's a sign, the tree.
What's he trying to tell you?
He's waiting for you by the tree.
Death for Sigmund and his brothers seems certain. But the king's wife is Sigmund's sister, and she begs for mercy and implores the king to chain them up instead. He agrees. Not for mercy, though, but because he plans an even more cruel and lingering death. Chained to a tree in the forest that night, a she-wolf comes and devours one of Sigmund's brothers. She returns, ravenous, night after night, until only Sigmund is left. The next day, Sigmund's sister sends a servant with honey to smear on Sigmund's face. But to what end? Well, that night, when the she-wolf appears again, you'll never guess what happens. Odin, and gifted to Sigmund, a great warrior.
I need this sword. It's important. Can you help me?
The sword appears whole, but it is an illusion. It shattered into shards long ago. It is said a great warrior can reforge ground by answering the trials of Odin, one for each shard.
The roots of the tree of death will take you to new lands, where you will face the trials.
Go to the shards. Go to the shard.
Go to the shards.
What's the shard? Find it.
It's the metal runestones.
It's in front of you. The runes.
You need that sword.
Go to the shard.
Find the shards. Where is it?
Find it. There it is.
Focus.
There's the shard. Focus.
Focus.
Use your eyes. Look.
Get closer.
What can you see?
A king in the north forced the dwarves to make a sword that would never fail and never rust, and that would slice through iron and stone and bring victory to its bearer. But the angry dwarves cursed it. It would be the death of a man every time it was drawn, and it would be the death of the king. Let me tell you about the sword Tyrving.
I don't recognize this place. Where are we? Where is she?
It feels wrong. Where are we now? Burial mound. So strange that we go to such lengths to bury death. Something so very ordinary, inevitable. It's as if we conspire to hide death, because we have no answer for it. But when it comes and forces itself onto our friends or loved ones, then comes the reckoning.
You can feel the dead.
Senua, you remind me of a story that the Northmen tell about a young woman warrior. Her name is Hervor, the daughter of a berserker born after he was killed. She's a wild, willful child who teaches herself to fight with weapons. When she learns where her father is buried, her only desire is to reclaim the treasure buried with him, but above all, the sword, Tyrving.
Dillian, I'm here. I'm here for the trials. Like when we first met, remember?
Finally!
Found him. What's wrong? What happened? Can you hear me?
How did you let him go?
Just wait there. I'll find you.
How could you? You have to find him. This is your mission. Find him. You have to use everything you have and find him. Get him back.
He was just there. How could you lose him? How could she lose him?
How could she? Find him.
Dillian, touch the walls.
You don't know what they might do.
Turn back.
She has to keep going.
It's not safe here.
She has to keep going.
If you go down there, no one can save you.
It's too scary.
I can hear him.
Hervor disguises herself as a man to join a band of warriors, and soon becomes their leader. When they come to the island where her father is buried, her men do not want to go ashore. They say that evil haunts the island, and that it is a worse place by day than other places are by night. Fearless, she lands alone. There are many grave mounds, and all of them have ghostly flames burning over them. She comes to the grave mound of her father after passing through these ghostly fires as though they were mist. The flames I passed through were real enough. Damn the Northmen to hell.
The voice is getting louder. Listen.
Dillian. Listen, listen, listen. It's him. Listen.
It's getting louder.
There he is. Keep going.
Senua, follow the voice.
You're nearly there.
Dillian's voice.
It's him. He's going to save you.
Find the voice.
Find him.
It's not him. It's not him.
We told you. We told you it was a trick.
That voice doesn't sound like Dillian anymore.
What's happening? It's not him, it can't be.
Quiet. He wants me to find him. I'm lost without him.
It sounds like something dangerous.
What's in there?
What is it?
A secret room.
Box.
How do you get in there?
How does she get in there? There's no way in.
Find a way.
There has to be a way.
That voice. It's not Dillian.
You're too close to stop.
It's in there. Dillian wants me to face my fears. Father? I'm leaving. I've decided. I think it will be good for me.
It's the darkness. It's speaking through
No,
you.
Dad, it's me. I think I can beat it. In my own way.
I can see the darkness in your eyes, child.
I met a boy.
Boy?
The chieftain's son.
No.
He said he could help me.
It's a trick.
He said I could be normal.
Normal?
Yes.
No boy is going to save you. No one can. When they see the rot growing inside you,
No!
they will turn their back on you. The gods can only fix you through my hand. You're going nowhere.
No.
You will not defy the gods. Come, child, take my hand. Come. Senua.
I am leaving!
You cannot escape the darkness. Your curse will make everyone suffer. You will have blood on your hands!
It's done. You did it, but there's more. Going.
There's more.
You're tired, but you have to keep going.
There's still more.
There's always more to do.
It's not going to be easy.
Can you do another one? It's too much. Have you got the energy?
She hasn't got the energy.
No. Too much to do.
I want to tell you a story about a god of the Northmen called Balder. The second son of Odin. He was beautiful, good and wise. He was fair of feature, he spoke fair words, he gave fair judgments. Light shone from him. Only good things were told of him. Yet he was the first of the gods to die.
You've come this far, but the bridge is broken.
There's no way you can fix it.
What do you do now, Sam?
What does it say? Get closer.
It's dangerous.
Don't go near it.
Don't go there.
Don't go too close.
Go to the mask.
You don't know what will happen if you touch it.
Gods. The mask is here to watch you fail. Where are we?
What is this?
It's the same.
Different.
It's another world. It's lighter.
It's nicer. I like it here.
The bridge.
It's not broken.
It's fixed.
What happened?
The bridge is fixed.
Let's cross it.
The Northmen tell this story about the death of Balder. It begins with dark dreams. Night after night, Balder dreams of his own death, and the gods fear for his life. So Baldur's mother makes everything in the world. Fire, water, iron, stone, earth, wood, beasts, birds, serpents, poison, sickness. Swear an oath not to harm her son. One by one, they each make their vow. Neither weapons nor wood will injure him, Baldur's mother boasts. Only Loki, father of Hela, the mistress of death, is not amused.
Dillion is ill.
Don't forget.
You can. You need the runes to find Dillion. You need Dillion. He's waiting for you.
He always said he would wait.
He's close.
He cares about you.
You can feel he's close.
He loves you.
Open the gate.
She can't.
Open the gate.
It's locked. Try harder. She can't. The gate. She can't. She can't. She will. She'll find a way. She will.
Go through it.
It's dangerous.
Follow it. What's behind the gate?
Where will it take you?
It's not safe.
Dillian.
There he is.
There he is.
What are you waiting for?
Quick, find a way.
Find him.
Go. Before he disappears. Dillian, don't lose him.
Way too many times.
He's let him disappear.
Taylor's here.
Where's he gone?
We're in the wrong world.
He's not here.
She's in the wrong world.
He's not in this world.
He's in the other one. He's in the other one. He's in the dark world.
The dark.
The dark world.
The world once seemed so simple. Black and white. Darkness and light. Narrow dividing lines of our own making. Dillian taught her to see further. To peek through the cracks and see the worlds of colour stretching away from the gloom. And Senna explored new paths into the unknown.
The gods feast and rejoice and amuse themselves by throwing spears and stones at Balder, striking at him with sword and axe. But he comes to no harm, whatever they do. The gods never cease to wonder at this great marvel. But Loki shapes himself into a woman and asks Balder's mother, "Is it really true that all things promise to keep him safe?" "I did not ask the mistletoe," Balder's mother confesses. "I thought it was too young." Oh dear.
Do you think she remembers him? Senwa, you've got it.
Why
He
isn't
was the only one that really loved her. He's gone.
He's in the dark world.
He's gone to the dark world.
You're in the wrong world. You can't go up
You
there.
can't go up there.
Not in this world.
No, not in this world. You can't. He was kind to her.
Where are you taking me?
He's up there. How do you get up there? There's a way. There is a way up there.
Find the way.
She can do it. You're nearly there. She can find the way. Do you know? Was it worth it?
You're still alive and Dillian's dead. He doesn't deserve to be dead.
How does that make you feel?
Loki makes a dart out of mistletoe. and goes to the gods as they throw things at Balder. The blind god, Huth, was there. Loki asks him why he wasn't taking part. Huth says, "I cannot see where Balder stands, and even if I could see him, I have no weapon." Loki replies, "Here is a wand. I will tell you where he stands." And Huth throws the mistletoe at Balder. It pierces through him, and to everyone's horror, Balder is killed. And for this, Huth is slain.
Nobody will love her now.
Can you remember what love feels like?
Look what happens to the things she loves. She destroys the things she loves.
Your curse has claimed Dillion.
Poor Dillion. He didn't know. He was kind.
She should have listened to her father.
Why didn't she listen to her father?
She thought she could defy her father.
You have no chance here.
Nobody will love her again.
Ever again.
You killed him with your love because he believed in you. tortured you,
And it tortures me. You kill the things that are most precious to you.
Dylan didn't deserve this.
Curse. And now the darkness is swallowing you over.
Believe in you. The curse can
You had that loved you. You squashed
The
it.
Northmen tell how the gods mourned Balder.
The curse
His
can-
body was to be burnt on his ship, but they could not manage to push it into the sea, and sent for a giantess to do it. She comes riding a wolf and has vipers for her reins. She pushes Balder's ship into the sea with such force that the ground shakes and the rollers burst into flames. When Balder's wife sees his body carried onto the ship, her heart bursts with grief, and she dies.
She thought she had
She's put next to her husband, and the pyre is lit, sending the dead to hell. But even so, the gods cannot accept his death.
You are guilty. Was it worth it?
Years had passed since she left her father. She trained hard alongside her friend, Dillian. She saw things no one else could. Patterns, shapes, movement.
Your curse has claimed Dillian.
An intuition that made her an exceptional warrior.
He didn't know. He was kind.
Friendship turned to love. But the shadow of darkness never let her go, and she was caught between two worlds. That of Zinbel and her past, and Dillian, her future. Two realities
Most precious.
tearing at her soul.
Wasting your time. You have no time for this. Speak up. These curses. Now the darkness is swallowing you both. Exactly. Trials to distract you. We've set you up, and now they're going to watch you. What if these trials mean nothing? It's laughing at you.
What if they take you no closer to Dillian?
Dillian, you're letting this get in the way.
What if they are just to tire you out, to make you weak before the battle?
You have no chance of love, no.
Nobody will love you again.
Ever again. You can. Do you think she remembers him? Dillian doesn't know who killed him, but we do.
The curse
Dillian saved him.
He didn't know.
He was the only one that didn't mind the curse. He loved us so much. He was the only one that really loved her. He did love her. remember meeting him beneath the tree? Do you remember how he made you feel? He cared in a way that
Overcome with grief, the gods send Hermod to ride to Hell and ask Hela to let Balder return home. All the gods are weeping, he says. Are they? Asks Hela. We shall see if he is truly missed. If everything in the world will weep for him, he shall go back to the gods. But if even one thing refuses, Balder stays with me. The gods send messengers everywhere. Weep for Balder, weep him out of hell. And everything wept. Men, beasts, earth, stone, trees, metal, everything. Except for a giantess they find in a cave. Balder was never my friend, she says. Let Hel keep what she has. The Northmen say that the giantess must have been Loki in disguise.
Do you remember the way he touched you? Do you remember him whispering in your ear? It's all your fault. It's all your fault. You're cursed. Do you know? Was it worth it? You're still alive and Dillion's dead. He doesn't deserve to be dead. How does that make you feel? He's the reason she keeps fighting. What if this is pointless?
What are you doing? Why did you think you could make this work?
You keep seeing runes. You see runes everywhere.
Everywhere.
What if they're not real?
The Northmen tell how the gods punished Loki for Balder's death. They captured him and took him to a cave. They fetched his 2 sons and turned one into a wolf, and he ripped his brother apart. The gods used Loki's own son's entrails to tie him down and turned these bonds to iron and dangled a poisonous serpent over his face so that its venom would drip onto him. Each time the venom drips onto Loki's face, he writhes in agony. The Northmen say that is the cause of earthquakes. A reminder, perhaps, that if even gods must accept death, then so must we.
Remember, Dillian? Do you remember? Do you remember the sound of his voice? Do you remember how he made you feel?
He was the only one she could trust.
Could she trust him? They're all about wasting your time, just delaying minute by minute by minute. What does she think she's doing? You're special. She thinks she can do it.
They mean nothing. The gods are just What if the gods are laughing?
Messing with her.
It wouldn't hurt. Dillian!
Last time. Be very, very careful.
Dillian never much cared for the underworld, and looked dimly upon the druids, like her father, Zenbel. I guess he took after his father, a chieftain who believed nothing he couldn't see, and he happened to be blind. She felt safe in Dillian's arms, learned to see the world through his eyes. And slowly, the darkness that had bound her so tightly began to unravel.
Be quick. Be quick. Careful. Breathe.
It's not safe. You're going to fall. You're going to fall. Careful.
No, she's not. She's not going to fall. She's strong. She's steady. She can do it. You can do it, Simon.
It's your fault. He's disappeared. You've lost him to the sea. He's gone. You've lost him. Just can't do it. He's drowned.
Senua, your father cannot understand your darkness. He cannot see through your eyes. No one can. My own father was born blind. Doesn't have the faintest idea of what the night looks like. The word dark to him means as little as the word light. So someone is afraid of the dark. Should we fix them by taking away their sight? Would you give up the beautiful world that you, and only you, can see just to be rid of your nightmares? Or is this the price you pay for the gift you have? A gift that makes you so special in my eyes. Just another part of the person I know.
I left for the wilds to protect you from my darkness. Because I love you. But it made it worse. I'm so sorry.
What if this is pointless? What if you're wrong? What if this has nothing to do with the sword? What if we're wrong? The sword will never be yours. What if this is the end? It's just a trick. It's just a pointless test. You've been fooled before. You could be fooled again. You're being tested. You don't know. It's just their game for you. You never know which way it's going to go.
I saw once a plague strike northern lands of ice. It was so terrible that not the oldest man among us could remember the like. Hundreds died. The sickness took nearly every person younger than 40, and many older. And where dying mothers gave birth, the marks of the plague were on the babes as they came out of the womb.
Where are we?
I don't like it. This place feels...
What is this place?
This place feels... It's... creepy.
It feels wrong.
It feels strange. Where is it? Where are we?
Turn back.
This is wrong. This has to be wrong.
This place stinks.
It's disgusting.
It smells like death.
I can't breathe.
Can you smell it?
There he is. There he is.
The light.
Go towards it.
He's in the house.
Find
He's going in.
He's disappearing.
Follow him.
Don't let him disappear.
The air
Where's
smells.
it gone? Keep going.
How do you find it? It's just a trial.
It's just another test.
You just have to solve it, and then you will find him.
Then you will succeed.
He's so close.
Just one little test to do.
You can almost reach him.
You can almost see him.
Like the old warrior trials. Dillion will help me. The stench of rot. She can almost taste it. Do you smell it? No. Don't worry. Not everyone can. It was a warm spring day when she went to the river with Dillion and the others. But the water... She could taste the rot. But no one else could. She knew something was wrong. Something sinister. She begged them to leave, but they just laughed at her. But soon enough, as the bodies piled up, no one was laughing. And they knew that she was not like them.
The bridge. It's broken. Fix it.
You have to fix it. Now you have to find him.
Quick, get to the house. Get to the house and finish this trial.
It doesn't finish until you get to the house.
Before he disappears, Senua.
You have to get in.